Hello, YouTube. Well, it finally happened. My teeth fell out. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw my video the other day. I had mentioned going to the dentist and all the work they wanted to do on my teeth. Specifically, they were going to pull one of my molars that was broken and then fill in a cavity and then fill in or do some root canal work and then give me a filler and crown on the tooth. That was on, I think, the left side, which they still need to do. I haven't gone back yet. I have an appointment coming up in a couple weeks, like a month. But on the right side, they didn't do anything, even though there was also a broken tooth there. If you guys recall, I had mentioned, when they had me in jail, I had a toothache because my teeth were cracked. Your teeth, for those of you who don't know, Florida, I live in Florida, and we have hurricanes that come through. And during that year, we had all those hurricanes come through, prior to my divorce, that landed with me in jail. But long story short, when a hurricane comes through, it changes the air pressure, and for some people, it'll actually cause their teeth to potentially crack. Or it was already cracked, but I think it's the air pressure. But basically, my teeth, my molars, cracked. Like, your molar is almost like four little square teeth put together to make one big fat one. Well, it cracked along the lines, like split it into pieces, into like 4 pieces. And you might not notice it unless you're eating like hot food or cold food, and some of that liquid, some of that water or whatever, in the hot or cold food that you're eating gets into the crack and touches your nerves. And then it hurts like you would not believe. It's like, I know the first time I experienced that pain was when the hurricane came through. We had that one year, we had like 3 hurricanes hit the same spot here in Central Florida. When the hurricane, as it was like going over us, our area, I was on the floor crying like a little baby. I couldn't stop I was like dying. I thought I was gonna die in the hurricane, because my mouth was hurting so bad. I was literally hurled up in a fetal position on the floor in pain. So I think toothache pain is one of the worst pains you can have, but I heard that giving birth is like 100 times worse than that. So women have a lot more pain tolerance than men. Yeah. But anyhow, so they're going to do the left side, and the right side, I guess they were just going to leave alone. But, they had mentioned that I need to brush my teeth better and floss, so I've been doing it religiously. And I don't know if that's what caused it, because I was like, religiously brushing my teeth several times a day and flossing and, doing all the stuff I needed to do to get my mouth better. Well, the other day, this side started hurting, the right side, where they weren't going to do anything with that broken tooth, and it started hurting. I was like, oh great, I'm getting ready to go see the dentist. They're going to deal with the left side, because neither the left or the right side was hurting. My mouth felt fine, even though they said that I needed to get my teeth pulled out, broken ones. So I started to hurt. I started to ache a little bit. Not too much. It was like an irritation, like kind of a little bit of a pain. So I was like, that's not good. I'm hurting now, even though they're not going to pull this teeth. I'm hurting on the side that they're not going to mess with. I'm like, I don't know if I should go ahead and ask them to go ahead and try to pull this one, but then insurance might not cover it. And it changes the dental plan, because it was starting to hurt. And then if it's starting to hurt and I have to go in, it'll be like considered an emergency, and then they'll charge extra for that. So I was like, well, I don't know if I should tell them and call in and have it pulled, added, to have that pulled, because it's starting to hurt. know, they seemed like they were shocked before that it wasn't hurting, you know. But so I ignored the pain for like a day or two, and pain was like on a scale from 1 to 10, maybe a 2 or 3, so it wasn't like too bad, you know. But then the other day, while I was sitting there on the computer, it was hurting a little bit. So then I you know how you move your tongue around, your tongue, like, you know, when you were a little kid and your teeth was going to fall out, and you just sort of put your tongue on it and put pressure on it. Well, I guess my tongue was automatically doing it to that spot. So my tongue flicked over to the broken tooth back here. I started flicking on it. And next thing I knew, the teeth came out. There was no pain or anything at all. It just came out. And it was like slightly larger than a large grain of rice. So it was like, you know, it wasn't a whole tooth. It was a root, what was left of the root, and a little bit of the teeth. But it fell out. I was like, wow, I guess that's what happened when your teeth falls out. It just falls out. So I was like, well, that just saved me a couple $100. I wonder if I should pull out the other one. So I'm having serious thoughts, you know, like maybe I should just stick my hand in here and pull out the broken molar. You know, this side came out on its own. This side, they were gonna take it out. They might even have to cut it out, you know, because it's the top part's missing, half or more than half the top part's missing. So all that's left is like the root. You can see the root of the tooth. So what came out of this side was the root. It literally was just the lower portion of the tooth, because the top part was already broken off. I'd broken everything off. So it didn't hurt. I don't see myself bleeding, even though it happened yesterday. You know, it's not bleeding or anything. So I think it's healing up pretty well. But I guess the dentist may talk about it. You know, I talked to him about it. But yeah, it fell out on its own. So I'm like, well, what happens if I pull out this other one? What happens if I pull it out before I go to the dentist? Because they were going to charge me to pull it out. You know, it's like, I don't know how much it is, probably a couple $100 to pull out a tooth. But that's what it costs. But I'm like, well, I could just yank it out myself. I'm gonna just take my tongue and keep pressing on it. Yeah, but see, it's not hurting right now. I don't feel any pain at all. Even when I press on with my finger, I don't really feel pain. So maybe it's not ready to come out, but the other one was. What do you think? Let me know. And should I go ahead and hand pull out my tooth so I don't have to pay the dentist? Or is he going to charge me anyways? They've already booked me for that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Well, thanks everyone. Take care. God bless you all. And remember, take good care of your teeth, unless you want them falling out. Bye now.